This is Feta Sports, only on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Welcome back to the Fade Us podcast. As you can see, there's only 3 of us today, and it'll be like that until next football season. Phil is gone for a little bit, kind of doing his investments, traveling the world, doing how many things. I think Mike has something to say about that in a second, but Cantu and I are sitting here. We are happy. Our Seahawks, world champions. We'll obviously cover a lot more of that in a minute. I was there. That was awesome. Cantu, we were chatting the whole time. We have a whole recap on that. But we'll start with the rants, and I think Mike has something to say about our host that is on sabbatical.
Well, you know, Phil just bailed on us. He as you haven't heard by now, Phil bank account is now $23 million richer, and he wanted the whole world to know about it. And in case you don't know his address, he told everybody his address of the new place he just moved into. So hopefully somebody doesn't go to his new address that he just moved into and kidnap him or his family for ransom. So that's what we're hoping that doesn't happen, since he wants the whole world to know exactly where he lives and how much money he has. And we'll miss you, Phil.
They know where to look first, though, if it does happen.
I mean,
by the way, it's very guarded. He put this on all of his socials. It's like gated, guarded, personal elevator. I mean, it's as safe as it gets, Mike. Doesn't that help?
Yeah, but when you drive out or walk out, you still have to go back in.
Right.
So
you still have to go into the city of Las Vegas.
Phil will tell everybody, I'm going to play the Aria High Roller today, or my wife is going shopping today to buy us new furniture for the new place.
Okay, Mike.
We just have to like do a lot of praying.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. Well, he'll be all right.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, Phil's living a lot better life than we are, it seems, you know? Like
we don't exist anymore. See, now he's moved. See, he moved up from hanging out with the billionaires to pretending to be a billionaire. And now he actually has like a few million, so now he can fit in the category.
Well, it's more than a few, Mike. We got to be fair to Phil. It's more than a few. He's let us all know exactly what it is before and after taxes.
26, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what the best part is about it? You know, is I always would I don't even want to go there. Never mind.
It's probably better we hold that one back. Anyways, can I do my rant next, Woodley, with our new format here?
Yes,
let's get into it. I had one of the best days of my life on the Super Bowl. My whole family came together. We were here in Vancouver, Washington State here. Everybody was there except for my 93-year-old grandma. Everybody else made it. It was just really nice. Everybody going crazy, easy win, lots of celebrating. It was very like wholesome, you know? And I know, Woodley, your family went to the parade today.
Yeah, they were. I was lucky enough to be down there for work. We took some folks on behalf of Edge Boost. We were actually at Waste Management before too. So I mean, it was a fun week. I mean, it was nice to get home and see the wife and kids. It was very Cantu, you know, to see have kids. Like, it's nice when you get that like hug after they haven't seen you in a while. Right. Even though you're like really tired and trying to just get back in the swing of it. But yeah, it was great. My parents and my brother flew down from Seattle, went to the game. I was able to hang out with them a little bit on the days. We took my brother to a couple of the parties and stuff. Great time. But like, that was fun, man. Like, you know, I'm a fan of a lot of teams, and I'm a diehard fan as most of us are. It's like just so insanely rare for a team of yours to win a championship. It's so hard to begin with, but then to see it in person, you kind of like are in the moment, like especially afterwards, the confetti's coming down. You're with family, like you're kind of like almost tearing up, and you're like, this is it. Like, you know, when you die, like this is gonna flash before your eyes, right? And you're gonna actually look back at these pictures with fondness and all this, and then you're also like, man, I'm glad they won, because this would have sucked if we would have had to take like a $300 Uber for 2 hours back to the hotel. So it's all good and everything. And then you know, the next day we're all on the chat, and Mike has to go revise history a little bit, and Mike goes, at least he gave me credit. He didn't give Cantu credit for some reason, but Mike goes, Woodley and I, as in Woodley and Mike, told you this whole time that Seattle was the best team. And I said, Mike, I remember you making a bet with me when Seattle was 5-2 that they were frauds, this, that, and that they would not make the playoffs.
That was early in the year, but I didn't.
Not that early.
The thing is I've always told you guys this: run the ball, stop the run. That's who wins the championship. Okay. Last year, the Eagles were the best at running the ball, and they were the best at stopping the run. When it started going late into the season, and as the weeks progressed, what team was best at running the ball and stopping the run? And it was Seattle. And I, even though I wanted the Rams because I had the extra 10 grand bet with Feldman if they won it, they were not able to run the ball as well as Seattle down the stretch. And they were also, they were able to stop the run, but their pass defense had fallen off a cliff with 6 weeks ago in the season. And when your corners can't stop anybody, and every time they punt the ball to your special teams, they either get a punt return or a blocked field goal or a muff punt. And the truth of the matter is they lost the soup. The Rams blew it because their special teams were just terrible, and it cost them home field, and it cost them the game in the playoffs against them. So
I don't think that's fair. I think Seattle's special teams are that great. Let me just answer. I don't care if it's kicking the field goals. That punter Seattle has, that punter, he does like the old coffin corner. Somehow they go like bounces in and just goes right out at the one, or the guy barely taps it out. It's such like a pretty ball.
No, they have a great special team
return. Like it's everything: kickoff return, punt return, everything.
I think it's pretty clear though. The best two teams in the NFL this year were the Seahawks and Rams.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think it was very close thereafter. I think it was a huge
drop off. That's why I can't say like is Seattle like one of the greatest teams ever, because I think everybody was down this year.
We'll get to that next segment, I think. But I kind of disagree. I think there are like actually a lot of solid teams this year. I think it's just they really paled in comparison to the Hawks and the Rams. I think the Bears were pretty good. Again, like they were a pretty good team. That was a team with good defense. That's a team that actually probably should have beat the Rams. The Eagles are like a mess, right? But the Eagles they were the defending champs. You still had to respect it. There's a lot, I think, to get into the Eagles. And then on the other side, Denver's weird because like, I don't know. I don't think Denver, even with Knicks, would have posed much of a threat to Seattle. Would they have done more than New England? Maybe. That's why
I like the Jags so much, because they ran the ball and stopped the run. Like ETN was going crazy, and they had the best run defense in the AFC.
Yeah,
and and you saw what they did when they shut down Cooks. And they still won that game. So there was a lot of good teams. I think this notion that it was a bad football season is incorrect. I think it just wasn't this crazy high flying season where you had like quarterbacks dominated. There was a lot of flawed teams.
It was a bit of a throwback though to like old school. Like Seattle built this insane defense, and then they had two really good running backs that would just run the ball constantly. And then like, oh, by the way, you also have the best receiver in football too. So I think this idea that it was like a down year, Seattle wasn't that great. I don't know.
I think it makes just such a big difference that these schedules the NFL makes you play. Like New England and Seattle, as much as I like them next year, they're going to have a hard time getting back. They really, the schedules are so much tougher, and I wish they would actually give a flat playing field schedule. What do you guys think about that?
No, I like that. We've talked about that before. You got to have the teams that finish last have the easiest schedule.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a Super Bowl champion, you're supposed to be able to beat everybody. It's kind of like, let's go back 2 years ago when the Ravens had an over-under of 11.5 or 12, right? And they're like, this is the Ravens. Who cares how tough their schedule is? And they won 13. You know what I'm saying? If you're as good as you're supposed to be, the schedule doesn't mean anything. If you're a fraud, it does.
So here's their schedule for next year. Obviously, they play all the NFC West teams twice, so we'll skip over that. They play at home versus the Cowboys. They will win that. They play at home versus the Giants. They will win that. They play at home versus the Chiefs. Okay, that's a tough game, but Seattle will be favored. They play at home against the Chargers. Again, solid playoff team. Not easy. They play at home against the Bears. That's a tough one. They play at home against the Patriots.
So all their tough games are at home.
It's pretty tough. Well, they're away opponents.
Let's go for the road.
They play They play at the Eagles. Who knows?
Yeah.
At the Commanders. Who knows? At the Broncos. That's tough. At the Raiders. At the Raiders. Cakewalk. And then at the Panthers.
Yeah.
That's a pretty tough schedule. There's
that's a lot of playoff teams.
There's a road. Yeah, but that road schedule's not that tough. I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, that road schedule, though, Eagles playoffs, Broncos playoffs, Panthers playoffs, Commanders, who knows what the Commanders are.
Jaden will be back.
Listen, they're going to earn it. They're going to earn it. But they also are the odds in favor to repeat, which I know Cantu wants to talk about a little bit later. So on that note, we'll take our first break and be back shortly.
You're listening to Feta Sports on the VSiN Podcast Network.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge, but what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands and thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is that you can get that same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you'll get access to expert picks, public batting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Just tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets. Also, would love to give a quick shout out to VSiN for hosting us this year and continue to host us. They've been great partners. So definitely check out VSiN Pro and everything else they got going on too. Actually, yeah, it was actually fun. Well, I think for this segment, we don't really have any more NFL games to handicap. We're going to do some other sports picks in the next couple segments, but I figured it'd be fun to do a recap.
Can I start off? We're going to do a recap, but can I just start off with my number one pick, Woodley? I've been really excited to put this out.
This is relevant. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to start our number one pick. So we're just going to talk a little Super Bowl. Number one pick, Seahawks repeat. It's plus 1,100. You can find it on Kalshi and Poly Market. I know Mike isn't as big on the projection markets yet, but it's a much better line. What do you think, Woodley?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I listen. I think this team has all the makings of a dynasty.
Same.
Drafted insane. There are 75 million.
They're going to have to pay JSN. They're going to have to pay Kenneth Walker.
No.
They're going to have to play
eventually.
Love.
Okay. So Schneider does not do deals with more than 1 year left on it. That's his hard fast rule. He doesn't care who it is. So he's not going to. Darnold has 2 years left. JSN has 2 years left. A lot of these other guys do.
So Darnold only signed for 2, right?
Oh, yeah, he signed for 3. Oh, 2 guaranteed, but now the third. So they have 75 million. Plus, there's always ways to restructure it too, right? All these teams can find 20, 30 million, right? So they have 100 million, right? A Super Bowl team. They have
also there's I think we got because of the NFL did so good this year. I think the cap goes up an extra 20. So I think we're at 95. Which is relevant.
The point is they have nothing but money to spend. They have 2 big free agents to potentially resign. Witherspoon, of course. Witherspoon's going to go get 35 million a year, worth every penny. And then you have Kenneth Walker, who
they wouldn't have to sign Kenneth Walker if Charbonnet didn't get injured. Right?
Yeah, but they will. I mean, you got to bring back the Super Bowl MVP. 12 million a year.
How good was Kenneth Walker in the playoffs? I mean, when he needed to be the man, he stepped up.
I told you guys,
if he needed 25, 30
well, you know why?
They got that run game. They got that run game going with 5 weeks to go with 3 weeks to go in the season. The Rams game, the first Rams game, is when they started getting the run game going. And once you run, if you get run the ball, stop the run, that's just it. That's why I like Seattle to win it.
Which is why they can win it all again next year, Mike. Here's the thing. You look at this team. So Walker for 12 million. They'll bring back Shaheed wants to come back too. He's a third wide receiver. Another $8 million. They'll still have 30 million in cap to spend fixing holes here and there. They don't lose anybody else of note. That team is.
But the thing about the NFL is whoever stays healthy wins, and so on paper, if they were Seattle was one of the healthiest teams all year. They didn't have any serious injuries. They had
being young helps that.
Being young helps them.
I mean, they had a 2-week period where they were missing 3 of their back end defense. That was when the Tampa Bay lit them up for 38, and I lost 3 of my survivor picks on them. And I think that had me soured on them until about 4 weeks ago in the season. But listen, like I said, stop the run the ball, stop the run.
Who do you have ahead of them? Because the whole point is they just won the Super Bowl. They won in dominating fashion. That Rams game in the playoffs, they were that stupid taunting penalty away from going up like 18 points. The game was over at that point until he switched it. So in my opinion, they dominated the entire playoffs.
I mean, you could say if the guy doesn't muff the punt to go down by 18 points, then the Rams win the game. So the guy muffed the first punt and somehow recovered it, and then he muffed it again. Then they pulled him out. That's a 7 points. They lost by 4 points. And the thing is
tough,
when people want to talk about like how dominant their defense is, it's like the Rams shredded that defense, not once, but twice. So, top great defenses never get shredded. Like, we'll look at the Texans this year. Their offense never gave up more than 17 points on offense in any game this year. You know what I'm saying? And I thought they were the best defense, the Texas defense, and it doesn't matter.
I'll take Seattle's defense. I still will.
I don't know about that. I mean, the Jaguars, they gave up 29-2.
What's that?
There's some really good defenses, but the difference is some of those really good defenses,
those were all turnovers.
They didn't have as good of an offense as Seattle. And it does, you got to have some offense. That Seattle offense, when they want to, they just start airing it out, running the ball. It all comes together. They look great.
Well,
the one thing I will give credit to Darnold is, again, he led the NFL in turnovers. Okay. And, that's not a coincidence, and he did protect the ball in the playoffs. Okay. But it is the San Francisco game. They're playing against 7 third-string defensive players or whatever it was. And the Rams game was good, but the Rams secondary ranked.
He threw for 343
yards.
The
Rams secondary, the last 6 weeks,
it doesn't matter,
was ranked 31st out of 32, and on the season was ranked 27th.
Mike does this thing where
these are important. These are important.
It's for exactly 6 weeks. If you were to look right there, I mean, come on, you got
to
give
important.
Seattle more credit, Mike.
These are important.
The Rams are tough.
I'm just saying, if
tough.
you're you can't suck off Darnold until he does it again.
MVP in the biggest game of his life up until last week.
That was a duel.
He did outduel him.
No, Stafford had more yards and more touchdown passes.
That last possession was wild that Darnold had, and to be honest, on the coaching,
but I will
really
give Darnold
aggressive.
credit. He didn't turn the ball over, so
that's you know what, you nailed it. I actually kind of forgot about it. Why they're gonna win again is coaching. Like, he is the best coach in the NFL, and I know he didn't win Coach of the Year. He's
again, what happens to all these teams that lose offensive coordinators? They regress. Okay, this is what happened to Philadelphia this year. They regress. Losing these coordinators, like what was I saw that
it will hurt.
Jalen Hurts has not played for the same offensive coordinator once in the last 8 years. He's had 8 different offensive coordinators.
Yeah, but they're not.
So
an
is Seattle.
Team.
Seattle's been the last 4 as well, Mike. I mean, you got to give a little credit.
McDonald. This isn't the Lions where they lost the defense coordinator and offense coordinator. McDonald calls the defensive plays, right? And the defense is their strength. Kubiak is fine. Like, you might see a downgrade there, but that is the most attractive offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but the Lions, Aaron Glenn, you act like Detroit had a great defense. They had a good pass rusher. Defense back end hasn't been good.
Well, it got worse. It got worse this year. But my whole point is, McDonald is calling the defensive plays. They won this year because of the defense.
Well,
they have a veteran quarterback in Darnold. They have a good run game. They have a good offense line. They have JSN.
I think they're going to have a good chance. I think they're going to have a good chance, and it's going to be interesting. Is
11-1.
Is the Rams? They're basically the co-favorites. They're basically the same price. And the thing is the Rams have to go out and get 2 cornerbacks. If they don't go out, and they will, they'll get the 2 cornerbacks. But what the Rams also need is a pass rusher. And again, we were talking about this. Me and you, Woodley, is rumor has it that Crosby, because the way they benched him the last few weeks, wants out of the Raiders. Seattle has plenty of capital. So do the Rams, draft capital, and it's going to be interesting if Crosby goes to the Rams or goes to Seattle. With all the,
I kind of like us sitting. Well, of course, we've all heard the Justin Jefferson rumors going to Seattle. I would love Jefferson, but
that's not true. That was done by Richard Johnson, which is a fake account, dude.
Yeah. There's no way Jefferson.
I'm also saying that Jefferson and Darnold, I'm not Jefferson. Jefferson and JJ had a little beef. I don't know.
This is a rumor I heard, and this one I think is true. And that is that the Vikings are going to sign Kirk Cousins to back up J.J. McCarthy. And if J.J. struggles, they will put him back in the starting role. Now, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But that's going to cost a lot of money in buyout.
Max Crosby's interesting, I think.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Cousins has no more guaranteed money left. There's
they cut him.
It?
They already said they're cutting him. Well, they'll take the Falcons. The Falcons will take a hit, but it's like it's not that bad.
Yeah, they're cutting him.
The interesting thing about Crosby is interesting because in theory, like Seattle could get him. I don't think they will though, because you're still going to have to give up like 2 first-rounders, and Seattle's been like extremely good at drafting, and like
I think
the Rams have some other holes though, man. And the other thing is like Stafford's going to be 39 next year, and
I mean the thing is, again, you're right. Stafford is, he looked like getting better with it. The thing is these quarterbacks, once you learn how to quarterback and you don't lose that arm strength, you're able to play well. I don't, I mean, even Aaron Rodgers, he struggled some games this year, but he played pretty well overall.
Adams is going to be 34. Like,
I mean, is Adams going to be able to play as good as he did last year? That's tough. You know what I mean?
Puka's like good, but he's a goofball. I mean, he's like
they have the run. They have the run game. They got the offensive line. They've got they need a pass rusher and they need 2 corners. So
they're not far off.
They're not far off. And again, it comes down to what if, I mean, just hypothetical, like what if Aaron Rodgers says, I'm going to Atlanta? Like Atlanta was a really good team. Like they won the last 4. They gave away 5 games because the coach was an idiot. Like if they get any kind of quarterbacking, like if Atlanta gets any type of quarterbacking, this team has Bijan. They have Pitts. They have a great defense. I mean, that defense dominated a lot of great teams this year.
I mean, Falcons are 100-1, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers had a very good year, and I also think if Aaron Rodgers came back, he would go to Minnesota. But I actually think
you don't think. Hold on, I think this is you guys are overlooking things. Holmgren, Rodgers, the rekindled relationship.
He's not going to re-sign with the Pittsburgh.
You don't think so? Okay.
They can't win. They can't win a championship.
No, he's that Pittsburgh team's not very good, and Rodgers, he needs a better team. He didn't really have a good year. Like, I mean, he's better than some players. Like, he would have been better than
middle of the road
JJ McCarthy, but not much.
He was better than Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
So we'll do this.
Let's hold it back there.
We'll do this rapid fire, I think, before the next. I think we got our next break here in a couple minutes. But here's the other favorites. Just like say, if you think they have, like if you like them more than the Seahawks to win it, right? So the Rams and Seahawks are co-favorites. Buffalo Bills 11-1.
They need to improve the defense. We have to see what they do in free agency.
They need a lot of help.
I think we're probably all in agreement on this next one that we have zero faith in these guys. Eagles 13-1.
Man, if they keep that roster is good. They have so many coaching problems, coaching to player problems. That's their only problem. I think they had to get rid of Sirianni. I mean,
they lost to San Francisco. Who was missing everybody.
Hurts can't run like a real offense. Like they have to dumb down that offense for him too.
Yeah.
So right, probably not.
Baltimore Ravens 13-1.
No defense. Ever since they lost the coach that's on Seattle, they have not been
that one. I want to see what they do in the offseason, because if they were really to get a bunch of weapons, they would be fun and interesting, because I think the NFC North is pretty easy.
I like the coach. You know what? The thing about they signed the defensive coordinator from San Diego, right? From the Chargers, right? Yeah. Minter.
Yes, I forget his name.
And and the Chargers had a great defense this year, so maybe he will help them.
I think they could win the AFC. I think they're going to be strong players.
I have a strong pick for the AFC. So
they all right. New England Patriots. I don't see it.
I don't see them winning 7 games. I've seen their schedule.
Detroit Lions. I don't see it. Like they have a lot to rebuild.
A lot of people think that they're going to bounce back this year. I'm with you. I have to look at Detroit's
schedule. It's fun. We'll keep this going. It's like a couple words on each team. Green Bay Packers.
Will Parsons be back? I mean, did he tear his ACL, or did he have a Achilles? I'm trying to remember.
No, it was ACL.
No, it was Achilles, wasn't it?
I mean, it's bad either way. Chargers 15.
Chargers
15-1.
Chargers is a team I really like a lot, and I'm going to tell you why. I love
the Chargers.
They have $100 million in cap space. Okay, I truly believe if they had their offensive line healthy, they were going to win the AFC this year. So what do they need? Okay, they need to get the offensive line healthy.
They need to get healthy.
They probably need one more offensive lineman. Okay, the defense is really stout, and then they need another wide receiver, right? And
I think the Chargers are going to be a top 2 or 3 team in the AFC next year.
They're the number one pick.
Maybe number one.
They are picked to win the AFC West, and I think rightfully so. I mean, they're only lost by one game this year with all those injuries. That's why when everybody was like saying, "Oh, I can't believe that guy voted Darnold for MVP," I'm like, "Well, who's dumber? The guy who voted Herbert for MVP? He won 11 games with an offensive line ranked 39, 38, 37th, and 36th." Or the 23 idiots that voted for Drake May, who you all saw versus any team with a pulse. He couldn't read a defense. No,
I think it's a big year next year for Herbert. I mean, it's kind of a make or break year, I think, for him and Harbaugh.
So
like,
if
We've
they
been
don't
saying that,
if they don't do it, I mean, it's kind of open.
I mean, but like injuries, you can't control injuries, right?
So you got the Chiefs 15-1. Chiefs have to rebuild, but you can't count out Mahomes.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Chiefs, right? Their offense, they need a left tackle. We know that, right? So they need a left tackle, and
a receiver that can stay out
and
of
they
jail.
and they need a back end of the defense. They couldn't stop third down. They were the worst third down team in the NFL last year. They lost, like, when they were sitting at 5-5, all 5 of their games were lost because they couldn't get off the field on 3rd and 7. And so they're going to have to get revamped the back end. And then Jones is getting a year older, so I do think that they'll be in the hunt, but I think another 2 years.
We'll do like 4 more here, because then everyone else below it is like a million things have to happen. All right, this one's interesting. Niners 17-1.
That's interesting.
Scare me.
That's interesting because they were winning, missing 11 starters, 7 defensive starters, and 4 offensive starters.
I actually think the most incredible story this year of any team it is the 49ers. How did they almost beat us for the division? I mean, with how solid we had, no injuries. The 49ers scare me. I think the 3 best teams coming into next year are going to be Seattle 1, Rams 1B, and the 49ers 1C. Maybe number 2. That 49ers team, when they're healthy, is really, really good. And scares me.
The one thing I was watching a couple shows, and I kind of think the Bears were the 4th or 5th best team at the end of the year. They got better and better and better and better. And the thing is Caleb had 58% completion percentage, and he threw some picks, but he reminds me of like Brett Favre, man. But he's not afraid to sling it. He'll make some crazy plays and some crazy picks, but they got the right coach. Okay, the defense got better at the end of the year.
People get this.
Bears are 25. Here's 2 for you, and it's you touched on it. Bears 25-1. I like, and then you have the Vikings. If they could actually figure out their quarterback, they're at 60-1, which is where the Seahawks were preseason this year too. And like I think Mike said, like if they had decent quarterback play, they probably win 14 games.
I mean, if they sign, they're probably going to pick up Cousins as a backup, or even he might even start if JJ struggles. And I think he's a year older, but he as he got his reps in this year, he got better. Atlanta won the last 4 games down the stretch, and 3 of them he played pretty well. That's going to be.
I'm going to give the Bears a little break. People forget, man, it is tough to play quarterback in Chicago. I mean, it's worth a few percentage points. The wind's going to catch a ball. It's cold. I mean, good Lord, that snow game that he had to play, that Rams game. I'm all about it. It's way tougher to play quarterback in Chicago than just about anywhere. Maybe Buffalo's tougher.
I mean, I'm all about the teams that finish strong. Me and Phil have always talked about this. Teams that finish strong down the stretch and jumping on them in their preseason win totals, or teams that struggle down the stretch going under, right? Atlanta, they had all the talent. They beat up on all these good teams. Even the game against Seattle, they were 6-6 at halftime when the kick return came right out of the halftime.
Seattle did that to everybody, though. They did this like 6-6, 7-7, 7-3 type games, and you're thinking, why are they messing with all these teams? And then whatever they did, they would just blow out second half. Great bet if you love to bet second half.
Well, it was a lot of special teams. They had a lot of games where like they'd get the punt return, the kickoff return, some big turnover to start the half, and then the game would just unravel.
So
But,
we'll let Mike have the last word because he didn't really give us the answer yet. So we both took Seattle on this for Cantu's number 1 pick, and then we'll take the break. But Mike, who do you have? Who do you have on the Super Bowl?
Honestly, I really, really think the Chargers are going to be the team to beat. I think that $100 million in cap space, though, I think they were the team to beat if they had a healthy offensive line this year. If you remember early in the year, they were 5-1 or 4-1 or something like that before their 2 tackles went down, and everybody said, "Okay, their year's over." And then Herbert found a way to win 11 games. And the other one I like.
what was the number, Woodley, on the Chargers, real quick? I forget.
It was
If you have it up.
15-1.
And the other one I like is a team who I thought was the best team in the AFC this year that shocked me that they lost to Buffalo. I thought the Jags. The Jags. I love Trevor Lawrence has arrived. Okay, he has arrived. He has arrived with the coach. This coach has put confidence in him. Trevor Lawrence. He was a top 4 MVP pick this year. He played unreal. They didn't just beat teams; they crushed teams, kind of like Seattle did. And they were the only 2 teams that. Matter of fact, if you really look at it, like those were the 2 teams that were crushing teams down the stretch. So, yeah. In the AFC, I really like the Jags and the Chargers, and I think you're going to see the Rams in Seattle. I think those are going to be the top 4 teams.
Right, so that was Cantu's number 1 pick. Also, kind of recap on this season. Looking forward to next season. I'm sure we will. It'll be interesting to see if we revise these picks in like 2-3 months from now.
Free agency and draft.
A lot can happen.
So far to go.
So we'll take another quick break here and then come back, and we're gonna give some more picks, some non-football picks. So we'll see how we do in this.
You're listening to Feta Sports on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Feta Sports is brought to you by Phil Hellmuth in his recent $26 million windfall. Phil, as we know, just made all that money on Prize Picks. Now he is keeping us all in style. I believe he
nowhere to be found.
He agreed to buy Mike a new house, Cantu a $200,000 Rolex, and myself a new car. So thank you very much, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
We look forward to these social media videos of you buying us these, like a few other ones that have dropped recently. On that note, we're going to kick it over to Mikey now that we are no longer in football season. There is a...
Okay, well, we have the NBA All-Star Game. It's All-Star Weekend coming up, so we are filming this the day before the last game of the NBA long 1-week All-Star break. And
it's 1 week?
Wow. Yeah, it's 1 week now because LeBron used to cry that, I have to be with my family and everybody else gets to be with their family. I have to play All-Star Weekend. Blah, 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 blah.
He has to play Christmas.
And so anyways, I think going into the All-Star game, we should know, or who I believe are the teams that are vying for the NBA title, and teams who I think are complete frauds. So I'm going to start off to say the 2 teams that, we all know the Oklahoma City Thunder are still the favorites. But I'm going to go ahead and say the 2 teams that I like that other people are might be sleeping on to win the NBA title. And I'm going to go ahead and say that the Cleveland Cavaliers, picking up James Harden, they have won every game since he's been back. They look really, really good to come out of the East. And I'm going to go ahead with, even though they're faltering going into the All-Star break, they've lost 4 out of 5. 3 of the 4 games were by 2 points. I like the Denver Nuggets. Joker, he came off injury. They've lost 4 out of 5, but he's coming back from injury. So his 3-point shot has been pretty flat. And I think that's why they've been losing. He was shooting like 41% before his injury. He's shooting like 29% since he's come back from injury. I think that's going to get much better. So those are my 2 long shot picks, Cleveland and Denver.
Not really long shots because they're the second and third favorite, but I guess when you have OKC out there, that
are they really? Because I think this Spurs team can win it all too. This Wemby is a freak. Castle is unbelievable. They hit on every draft pick. Well, I mean, they did get to go 1-2-1 for 3 straight years. it's tough to miss when you hit, but people miss on first round picks all the time.
Yeah. What about I like Denver, but I'll kick it over to Cantu and get his thoughts first.
Well, this is going to be my number 2 pick. We're going to go a little out of order here. My number 2 pick, I do like Scotty Scheffler, but I don't know how much like golf we're going to talk about this week. So I'm just going to say the Spurs. They're 16-1 right now. Wemby is just so good as long as he is healthy for the playoffs. I mean, he has to be healthy.
But it's not just him. Like Fox is a fucking stud. Fox is a stud. No,
I know.
Russell's a stud. The rookie they got, he's a stud. I mean, they're good. I mean, they could win it all this year. I think
Wemby's the best player in the NBA. People don't think he's there yet. I do. When healthy. Obviously, when healthy. This is like if we say Anthony Davis is when Mike says he loves Anthony Davis. Well, he's never healthy. Wemby's not always healthy. Maybe he's second after Joker. Maybe after Joker. Number 2. He just alters the game. So
he's going to be the best player in the NBA. Maybe I don't know if he's there yet, but
second, maybe.
But he's the best defensive phenomenon we've ever seen. The thing is like I was listening to a couple shows today, and they're talking about like can he stay healthy? Like there's never been a 7'3" player, his size that stay healthy. His body's lanky. It's just going to be. I mean, he's like if you remember, Ralph Sampson was 7'3" and he could never stay healthy. So.
Well, here's the thing. That's why the number is what it is. If we knew that Wemby was going to be healthy, I mean, just get out of here. These odds would be so short for the Spurs. So that's definitely tied into the 16-1, and that's why I like them.
I mean, do we all agree? But we would all agree that there's 4-5 teams that can win the NBA title. Can the Knicks win the NBA title?
I don't think so. I mean, you never know.
I think they can win the East.
All it takes is like one injury.
Can Boston win the East? Okay, so like Jason Tatum is now going to start playing full time in the G League, which they originally said that they didn't think they were going to bring him back this year because they didn't want to mess up the chemistry. Because right now Boston's number 2 in the East, playing really, really well. But that makes no sense.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, that made no sense. And so now they just sent him down, and he's going to start going full time in the G League. If Jason Tatum comes back and it doesn't mess up the chemistry, which I don't think it will, I mean, Boston could definitely come.
I gotta ask you something. Can I ask you something before we go on? I know you're a big GRP wins fan, and I know it was really emotional for you that him selling off all of his Hornets stock. He had like 100 and some thousand, and like he was standing to win on Hornets. What do you think about that sell off?
I mean, he would have won a lot more than that. He ended up cashing out for like $37K. But I mean, dude, he had them to win the division at like 1,000-1, and that they're very live there.
Crazy.
He had to
win the
division playoffs
Mike.
at like 60. I mean. He shouldn't have sold them. He should have sold like a couple and like
they're making the playoffs. They're for sure making the playoffs.
I wasn't it.
They might win the division
to win the division. Dude, was it plus $1 million? I've never seen plus $1 million to win a division.
Who's in their division?
Like
no
Orlando.
One.
Orlando's in first place.
Like no one.
Like they could get Orlando. I don't know what GRP's doing. I mean, I guess it's cool.
I actually like this sell off. I like it's take some money off the table.
You should sell off like part of it, or you should hedge part of it. But he's not sophisticated enough to figure that out. I'm gonna throw. I like your guys' picks actually. I like all of them, but I'm gonna throw out a long shot on this, and it's a homer pick. It's a team that's made the conference finals 2 years in a row, and it's honestly a team that I think is even better now than they were last year, and that's the Timberwolves. Okay, like they're playing better.
Why are they losing? They just lose.
They do this shit. They got this. I can't even pronounce his name, but this Io Dusu whatever. The guy from Chicago who like shoots lights out from 3, they now have him. Like this is a very solid team. Like the only position they kind of struggle in, I think, is point guard. But they got Dante back there.
OKC beat him in what 5 or 6 last year?
5, but
5.
It was competitive.
Right. But again, they had to play a 7-game series in Denver with
35.
3 of them in Denver.
35-1 though. 35-1. That's what I'm saying. Like. They've done it 2 years in a row. They've gotten on the doorstep, and they're better this year, in my opinion. In the playoffs, size and rebounding matters, and they have the size and the rebounding.
And that's why I like Denver a lot this year. Why is Denver? Well, yeah, they lost 4 out of 5. We talked about why, because Joker's going to be fine. He'll start making those threes, but people don't realize this Vukovic pickup has been awesome for Denver. So it used to be when Joker came out of the game, they would fall right off a cliff. When they come out of the game now, they are keeping that. They're not falling off the cliff, because I watch a lot of Denver games. And Vujovic, is that how you pronounce it?
Vucevic?
He's been playing absolutely fantastic. He's playing unbelievable for them. He's getting offensive rebounds. What we just talked about, offensive rebounds, how important they are. And Murray's healthy. He's finally an all-star. He is now playing at the regular season what he's done in the playoffs over his career. He looks like the best guard. Like he's got to be an MVP candidate, right? I mean, he has to be. He's playing incredible.
No, he's been good. No, it's been interesting. There's a lot there. To kind of keep things moving, I'll give out my my 2 picks for the record. I like the Wild I think the Wild are playing extremely solid hockey. I like them you can still get them I think at 25-1 to win the cup. The problem is they're in the division, I think, with literally the 3 best teams in the NHL, Colorado, Dallas, and them. So they may not last the playoffs, but they traded for this Quinn Hughes, and the guys like completely changed the team. And like, if they can go get a top line center, not easy to do by the deadline. I think they have a real chance for the first time in their franchise history. We don't have to talk about hockey. And then my other pick is the Daytona 500 is coming up this weekend. I love Brad Keselowski at 22-1. Brad's coming off an injury. Brad's done everything in the sport. He's been there a long time. He now owns a team. He's won all the Crown Jewel races except for Daytona. He's won the Daytona other race a couple of times. He's won Talladega a few times. He's won a championship. Daytona is the one that has eluded him, and he's one of the best super speedway drivers in the sport. He always has been. And what really I think his good chances, like, I think he should be like 10-1 because he's that good. He has 4 cars that are going to be in it with him. He's the team owner. They are going to team up and try to push him to the win. I love it at 22-1. I mean, it's Daytona. Like, there'll be a million crashes. He could be out by lap 10, but I absolutely love this one, big time. So we don't have to talk about that. But what are your? Other
I mean, the one thing is the Pistons have the best record in the NBA. I didn't even know this. They have literally.
They're better than the Thunder. That I didn't know that either. Actually.
Yeah, they have 13 losses. They're 1 game behind the Thunder because the Thunder have 2 more wins, but they both have 13 losses. They're a great defensive team, but I just
Mike,
think
with fake news again. The Thunder are 41-13, and the Pistons are 39-13. But go on, Mike. It's close.
What do you mean? That's what I just said. I just said they have.
You said they had the best overall record.
I said they had 2 less wins, but the same amount of losses.
Okay, go on.
But I just don't think that they're good enough to win in the playoffs. What do you?
I agree.
I think I have the Knicks. I have the Knicks and Cleveland above them, but I'm not a Mike Brown fan. He's always been awful in the playoffs. I thought getting rid of Thibs and hiring him was a joke. I think the Cavs made the right move, and I do think they're going to come out of the East, but we'll see. A lot of people think that.
By the way, I actually like the Knicks to come out of the East. I know everybody gives the Knicks a hard time. I think they're solid. They're trying hard.
Coaching matters, man.
Yeah,
coaching matters.
I like them to come out. But
they just lost to a team yesterday that had 3 road wins on the year. That's tanking, and their NBA, defense was terrible.
The NBA, you never know who's trying, who's not on a day-to-day basis, and
no, I get that. That's the key to handicap.
I don't
the NBA.
care if you lose to the Wizards on a night. It just doesn't matter. It does. It's the NBA is a joke.
I mean, we should
regular season's a joke.
We gotta. We'll give Mike one last thing, and we got to take our last break and then come back for a quick sort of update on that.
So I'm looking forward to the rest of the NBA season. I think the Cavs and I'm going to go with Denver winning it all. I really do.
Cool. All right, great. So yeah, we'll be right back with the last segment.
You're listening to Feta Sports on the VSiN Podcast Network.
A couple house cleaning things before we let these 2 knuckleheads wrap it up. So as we mentioned, like, Phil's going to be taking a break till the next football season. We're going to be having some guest hosts on here as well. Still a bit up in the air who that will be.
Should we have GRP?
We can try to get GRP. He did bail on us the first time.
No,
But if you
man,
guys have
he's
any
an idiot,
suggestions,
man.
let us know.
He's
Let us
not,
know.
Mike. He's not.
Dude,
an
everybody
idiot.
makes fun of him in the poker world.
Okay,
Well, they make fun of
not
us
me.
too,
I don't
Mike.
make fun of him. Yeah, we get made fun of too. I would love to have GRP on. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah,
Whatever,
who would you like
okay.
to have on, Mike? What's your wish list?
Yeah, let's hear his. Well, they're already on. Mike, who would you really like to see on?
I don't know. I mean, we could bring on a couple poker players. You know, Josh Ari has been making me laugh. He always makes me laugh. David Baker, he'll talk about Bo Nix every day.
I would love to have David Baker on. That's
You
a good one.
know,
What
and
about- Sorry, go ahead.
he did make a good point though, and I agree with him. Why? And okay, so the Patriots, their preseason over under was 8.5. It got bet up to 9. Okay, the Denver over under was 9, got bet up to 9.5. The Denver won the 1 seat, and Sean Payton didn't get 1 vote for coach of the year, but the Patriots coach won coach of the year, and he's
It's the
right.
same-
So
it's the same
are
reason
you
why
gonna just-
Belichick. It's the same reason why Belichick and Kraft didn't get into the Hall of Fame the first go round.
I mean, so like, but how does he not get a vote? Like
I just
like
told
he
you.
says, does that mean
They
that
don't like
does that mean it was all Bo Nix? That's
They
what
don't
he
like
said.
him.
How does
And he-
they don't
how
like
he's
him.
kinda right.
Seattle's coach not get a vote? There's a lot of. By the way,
Yeah.
this year had a lot of deserving coaches.
Seattle coach got a lot of votes.
Jags coach
He got
had-
third.
Yeah,
Seattle finished 3. I didn't see that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
coach
was
he
second?
threw some shade. He threw some shade at the parade today. He said, "This is the trophy that matters," or this is the win
Yeah.
that matters. So,
the number
Who
2
was second on that?
was it
Cohen,
Cohen, the Jags coach, and rightfully so. I mean,
yeah, he was very good.
he really turned that team around.
I would like to see this clavicle guy. I've never heard of him until I saw that video the other day. He
Which
could
guy?
co-host it. I'll send you the
Which
link.
guy?
That
Oh,
one
I didn't see
land.
it.
That one didn't land too
Listen,
well.
folks,
I'd like to get Richard
if-
Sherman. We need some like ex NFL players on this show. I don't know who else. Like Draymond. What about Draymond? Mike, you're close to Draymond.
Phil is.
We're going to come up with some good names.
Phil
this
could have
week in
brought
our group
people.
chat.
Could have brought people on. He's too busy talking about people than bringing people on. But listen, I love Phil. Hey, listen, folks, if you like what you've seen here on our show, hit the like and subscribe button. We appreciate it. We're going to try our best. I went 4-1 on my guaranteed picks. I guaranteed the under this last Super Bowl, and I somehow almost lost it. They needed 34 points in 13 minutes after it was 12-0 with 13 minutes to go in the game. And somehow I was a holding penalty away from losing this. I don't know
That's
how.
true.
I couldn't believe I was watching that live,
That's
and I was
crazy.
thinking about that. I couldn't believe he didn't like. Usually they go down at the 1, but in that case, you don't go down to the 1, right?
Not
Because
when
you
you're
go
up by
you up
3
23
score.
points.
Yeah.
You take the touchdown in the Super Bowl, but I saw that, and all these flags came out. So in the stands, you kind of knew it was what was happening. You're like, oh, maybe like New England guy faced.
And I watched a replay of this, and it was a
holding.
hold, but it wasn't like a blatant hold. Like
It was. I agree. It was a stupid small hold, but you got to call it. It was one of those.
They didn't call penalties all game though. That was like really weird to call that in
Yeah.
that spot.
Yeah, but he got him. He got him right here. He didn't just rip him, but it was enough.
what do you guys think of?
He still would have scored. That's the.
What do you guys think of Love's talking about how they knew what Drake May was going to do? Where he was
That was
throwing the
awesome. I
ball
love that sort of.
Dude.
I love that content.
maybe Drake
that-
May isn't as bad as I think he is. Because like I kept saying, he tore up all these bad teams. And
He did just turn 23, Mike. You could cut him a little grace.
you got to be able to read his defense. And when he played 4 of the top 5 defenses, he was
Guys,
completely
what Mike's
lost.
talking about is, or Woodley, help me out. Who was it? They showed an
He was
NFL.
he was tipping. He was tipping his passes. Like he was like giving him a quick look. Like at the last second, he was looking.
He would
at the guy he was gonna
hesitation
throw
and looking.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
hesitated and looked directly at him, and they knew where it was going. And like
And the
good
Seattle
NFL
defense
quarterback-
was like on the sidelines. They were like, "Don't you move, stand right there," and he's just going to throw it to you.
And how about
there it goes,
there was
right to
another
him.
tell. They said when he started shaking his hand, they knew it was a pass. And so they the offensive line. Yeah. So they knew it was a pass or a run. So again, that's coaching,
That's 100% coaching.
The one thing about the NFL that I don't care what anyone says, coaching matters more in the NFL than any other sport in the world. A lot of people say hockey second. I don't know. I just know the NFL is all coaching.
All coaching. Football and the NBA is big coaching.
NBA
is big coaching.
I mean,
I don't know.
Well, you need good players, but
you need good players. Like
actually, that's true. I'll give you that's more good players, but
yeah. I mean, coaching matters when it comes to calling timeouts and then burning up. Like people were mad at Tibbs because he played his starters so much last year and not enough reserves, and they'd wear him down. But coaching matters a lot in the NBA. But in the NFL, it's everything. Like, look at these teams that won like 4 games that didn't even improve their roster. Some of them. Like, what do the Jags do to their roster to go from 4 wins to 12 or 13, whatever it was?
That's why it has to be so depressing to be our buddy Ben and our other Steeler fan friends to just like total punt job and bring McCarthy in, who's not horrible, but like you have to take a swing, like you have to find the next.
And that's what these listen. After watching some of these clips of how good Clint Kubiak was as an offensive coordinator, how he would set up plays for later in the game, like, but did you guys see his interview today? Like, he's like, we're not saying we're going to go with Mendoza. There's a rumor that they might sign the backup quarterback for Green Bay as their quarterback, and they might Willis, and they might trade down for a fucking boatload of picks.
I would do that. I actually would do that. I think that's like the smarter. I mean, listen, like Willis, the chances of Mendoza and Willis being good next year are probably equal.
I mean, Willis has gotten better and better. I mean, he has took over this team when Love has gone down, and he has played great.
I mean, look at Darnold. A lot of these quarterbacks take time. Like Willis never got time, and I hate to end this on JJ McCarthy because he pissed me off so much, but it's too early to give up on McCarthy either. I mean, the kid played like 12 games. With that. He's like 22. It's.
I don't think he's going to pan out, but it's still too early to give up on.
How many like rookie quarterbacks really become great? Like, not we had Daniels last year, and he's going to be good again. Okay, but they got to fix that offensive line. They have a lot.
It's about 2 a class on average. So, anyways, we got to wrap it up, guys. Alrighty. It's crazy doing it without Phil.
We don't have to talk about him as much. He doesn't have to talk about himself as much. I mean,
just about his new stuff.
He won't have a rant where his rant will be about himself instead of about what was going on in football the week before.
Yeah.
All right.
Did he ever?
Thanks on that note. Thanks so much.